6ix9ine has ratted and taken a plea deal. He's done completely whether he stays in jail or gets released. Here's why. Number 6. His charges.
Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine is in federal custody facing racketeering and firearms charges.
It's hard to talk about 6ix9ine without mentioning all the many crimes he's been arrested for, charged with, and someone escaped in one form or another. Any one of these could have done a serious dent on his career, but he managed to get out of it, such as the time when he made a very suggestive video with some girls so that he could post it online to get some street cred within the rap community. The problem was that the girls were underage, and this led him to be charged with the use of a minor in sensual performance, to put lightly, which is actually a very heavy crime if convicted. However, 6ix9ine noted and showed in the video that he never touched the girls, and that he did not know that they were underage because they never told him.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so numb to it, right? Because I know what I am and I know who I am, you know what I'm saying?
He got a plea deal and was forced to do community service as well as focus on his studies so that he could get his GED. He didn't do neither of those and yet was never brought back to court for the matter until much later when other issues started to pop up, such as when he tried to hurt a fan because his fan was taking a video of him in the airport. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. He went and tried to attempt to make the fan erase the video of him and threaten him, and when he wouldn't comply doing that, he even got his bodyguards to threaten him as well. Eventually, 6ix9ine was arrested, but before he could be convicted, the kid he hurt came forward and asked the judge to not press any charges on him, which is very odd in every way. And I wish I could say that this was the last time that 6ix9ine got off easy, but I would be in a lie in every way, because he's had even more incidents that should have put him away in jail, including being involved in numerous acts of group violence, and even hurting a police officer, and yet he kept skating away by hook or by crook. But the joke was on him because the government could see what he was doing and they made a plan to get him, and so in November of 2018 they enacted that plan. Number 5. Arrested and convicted and pleaded out.
Bring the officer's attention all crimes which he has committed, and that he shall commit no further crimes.
In November, 6ix9ine was about to drop his first studio album, but then on November 18th, he was arrested in New York on various crimes. These crimes included racketeering, conspiracy, possession, and much more. It wasn't just him who got arrested though. His former crew and former manager were arrested as well because they were involved in several of the crimes. This is ironic because the days before the arrest, 6ix9ine actually fired all of them from his presence because he said he didn't trust them, which is another thing that is ironic because it was the team members who shouldn't have trusted him, but I'll get back to that in a sec. It should also be noted that it wasn't the police who arrested him, it was the FBI. Yeah, he got the attention of the federal government, and these charges were all put against him, and all these charges that were put against him were federal charges, which contained very heavy sentences should he be convicted. In fact, the minimum sentence that he would have gotten if convicted would have been 47 years, and max would have been life. For months, 6ix9ine stewed in his cell in prison, unable to get out, and only getting safe quarters after begging the judge to put him there for the fear of his safety. Eventually, though, the pressure got to him, and he decided to plead guilty to the crimes in exchange for a plea deal, and that's exactly what he got. While sentencing won't take place until January, he still has that plea deal going on for him, and if he agrees to cooperate with the federal authorities in order to take down members of his own group, he will get a lighter sentence.
Upon request, any document that shall truthfully testify before the grand jury or at any trial.
Oh, by the way, not just the group that was arrested with him, they're bonuses. No, 6ix9ine has agreed to help take down members of the group he rapped about being in, the 6ix9ine's. There have been a lot of questions about whether 6ix9ine was actually in that group or whether he was fake flexing to try and make himself seem cool or for street cred. Turns out he was a legit member, and they had him do some very dark things that don't tend to get you on the right side of the law. And returning for helping the FBI and other authorities take down the 6ix9ine's, 6ix9ine would get a reduced sentence, and even some speculated that he would get a full dismissal of jail time in the light of time served. As again, sentencing itself hasn't happened until January 2020. But no matter which way you look at it, this result ends the same way no matter the resolution. 6ix9ine is done with the rap world, and it's not just because he's officially a rat. That's just scratching the surface of it all. Number 4, not so tough now, huh?
No, you ain't really got to say so over certain of them dudes. I think he's a good kid for real, and got caught up in the internet.
There's a lot of work that goes into being a rapper. That's not just being a person who can sing a good song, as people like Lady Gaga, Freddie Mercury, Elton John, Cardi B, and many more have proven that you have to have a certain look that gets people's attention, a personality that speaks to others, and more. And obviously, you just gotta have that kind of voice. For all his faults, and there are many, there's no doubt that 6ix9ine was indeed a man who tried to embody the look of a hardcore rapper. I mean, look at the guy. He's got rainbow hair, tattoos all over his body, and a bunch of bling. But just as important, when when he rapped, he would talk about how tough he was and all the things that he did and would do and how hardcore he was and that he was the king of New York.
To be the king of New York. Matter of fact, tag 52. Tell 50 that this is the real king of New York. This is the vibes.
And then he felt he earned that title. Then he went to jail and proved that he wasn't as tough as he said he was. Granted, jail is a tough place, and if you do go there, it's honestly because you did something wrong more times than not. 6ix9ine flirted with being in jail, but never for long, if at all. He always skated away, but in 2018, the incident was different. He couldn't get away, and it became clear that he couldn't handle the pressures and dangers of being inside a jail cell forever. And so he cracked. He broke, and he got a plea deal. So even if he got no jail time, which isn't guaranteed for the record, no one in the rap community would believe him when he talks about how tough he is, because he just proved he's not. There have been many rappers who have gone to jail for a decent amount of time and have not been around. 6ix9ine can't say that, and no amount of fast talking or excuses is going to get him out of this situation that he now finds himself in. Sure, he could potentially go and rap about other things, but he spent his entire career whizzing on others and ripping on other rappers and calling them into question about their toughness, their street cred, and much more. Now that he's in question, if not in straight up denial, that's the rub. He dug his own grave in terms of his reputation because of the way he talked tough, and yeah, he can't even back it up, and now everybody knows it. Number 3, where's the trust? In most music genres, there's not a need for trust in regards to singers outside of the groups, and the basic trust that you won't betray someone if a situation arises. But in the rap world, trust is everything. Trust is what you need to have with your fellow rappers because it can help dictate what you do, who you sing with, and who you trust information and much more with. When a trust is broken in the rap world, there are consequences, as 6ix9ine is finding out right now. When it became public knowledge that 6ix9ine became a rat from his plea deal, a lot of other rappers reacted negatively. Many took jabs at him and called him and others out for what they have done, such as 21 Savage, who is facing his own legal troubles but for an entirely different reason. I despise you telling on every goddamn body. If you're a rat, I don't respect you. 21 stated, you are a rodent. I don't respect you no type of way. I don't care how much money you got, how many y'all put on, how many cars you got, how many chains y'all got. He specifies, if you're a f***ing rat, you are a rat. R-A-T. Or Meek Mill. I'm a hater because he's going to tell after running around stating with people and starting drama. LOL. The streets don't want to hear it no more. It's a fact. I'm not just saying it. And they're right. He's a rat. And that'll never change. So while there's some rappers who are a bit more sympathetic to his plight, many aren't having it. So even if he doesn't get jail time and comes back to the rap industry, he's going to have a lot fewer friends. At best, you'll have formal relationships with others who might want to work with him, but the trust won't be there. They won't confine him in because they know that if they talk too much, he might rat. With that kind of lack of trust, there's no doubt that his career will suffer and it'll be outright over. He might have a surge of popularity if he gets out early, but then once that fades, it won't be easy for him to continue. Without trust in this industry, you won't last long. Number 2, he might still go to jail for some time.
Born Daniel Hernandez has a long history with law enforcement. In October, he was sentenced to 4 years probation.
A lot of these points are focused on how he might be perceived if he gets out of jail, which is apparently an option right now. But the truth of the matter is, he might be still getting jail time, and a decent size of it anyway. He was charged with 9 different federal crimes. In regards to his plea deal, he had to confess doing all of them, officially making him a convicted felon. To that end, he's already sealed a part of his fate because he's admitted that he's guilty, so that all that's left is the sentencing. Continuing that thread, there are very distinct possibilities that despite his help taking down his former group, 6ix9ine will still do jail time, potentially even years. After all, these were several crimes, including possession of numerous illegal substances and conspiracy to commit heinous acts. These are things that fully cannot go unpunished. Again, he'll be in jail until next January, and that's a good punishment, but it's likely he'll still serve time after that. And as is the law of the jungle, the more time he's away from the rap game, the more time there is for new rappers to come up and replace him, which might be easier than you would suspect if he gets a 10-year sentence instead of the minimum 47, which would make him at the age of 69. That could definitely put him out of the game forever. Not that he might want to rap if he gets out in the first place. Number 1, he's got a target on his back.
In an Instagram post earlier this week, the Louisiana-bred rapper suggested 6ix9ine will be within a month of his release.
It's easy to think of all the reasons that 6ix9ine would try to go back into rap after getting out of prison. It's likely what he wants to do, and that's how he got his name and money. But now that he's become a rat, there's a very serious danger of being hurt by the group that he has now betrayed. These groups don't take things lightly, especially ratting. And depending on what he tells the FBI and other authorities, he could take down a ton of people with the group, which is going to make a lot of the other members very angry. And to that extent, they'll want to return the favor to 6ix9ine. Because of this, part of his plea deal is getting him put into witness protection if he should need it. This would mean relocating him, giving a new name, look, identity, and more. And because he'll have a new identity, he'll have to give up rapping until the situation is resolved, if it can be resolved at all, as these groups have very long memories and they're not really the forgiving types. Should he ignore the witness protection, he'd be out in the open of the streets of New York and doing performances that would give the group members plenty of time to extract their revenge. So whether by his own hand or others, it really doesn't look like 6ix9ine will be continuing rap even if he comes out. So there you have it, proof that the career of 6ix9ine is over. So what do you guys think of this? Do you believe that these are scenarios that are possible? Will he be locked up for a long time? Or will he get out even next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time.
Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these three. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.